And hello, hello, hello. Welcome to a new exciting episode of the Super Desperation Radio. Woohoo! How's everybody doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Not very woohoo, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about my fake excitement. I'm doing multiple things at once here. Hope
I
everybody had
noticed it
a.
wasn't genuine
It
because you
was.
only did two hellos.
Do hello. How many do I
Yeah.
normally
True.
do?
You always do three.
I do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our the Super Desperation Radio podcast. I am your host.
I'm the
Ellen
biggest
Bucket.
idiot ever. Hell pocket.
Super corn pockets today, guys.
What?
Hope you
Super
guys.
corn pockets?
Super corn pockets.
He's a cornball
Alright.
brother.
Cornball
Not
brother.
down for the
I'm the
cause.
RG3 of the FGC.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean tell me
What?
you can injure yourself and
I injure myself every day. It's a habit.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope you guys had a nice, safe Cinco de Mayo.
I I don't celebrate
What?
Mexican Independence Day. I'm American.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm American. I don't give a shit about no other independent.
I don't celebrate white people holidays.
Listen, I don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day, so that's one Irish fucking Independence Day I'm not celebrating. I'm not gonna fucking celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
Damn.
My head hurts so much right now.
You guys aren't fun at all. Jeez.
I
Oh,
celebrated Cinco de Mayo by staying at home and playing League of Legends.
hey, you were doing it the right way. At least you didn't do it like the San Jose people and just, once again, blow up their city.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
That's Sanho.
San Ho. Gotta love them. But anyway, another recovery week from NorCal Regionals. We had some things that happened this weekend, but I don't think anybody really paid attention.
Damn. So I paid attention.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, see, that's why you get paid the big bucks.
I thought I got paid the big bucks because I'm the shit.
Yeah, because you pay attention. Everybody else sucks because they're off playing League of Legends.
Okay.
He's playing League of Legends
Alright.
with us.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't know what he's talking about. I mean,
You
I was
sell
with
out.
these guys. They kind of got me into shit. So yeah.
I disappoint.
Go back to your disappointment with that Archblade or whatever the hell it is.
I read,
Actually,
Where you
on the
hate life.
topic of selling out, Super Desperation
yes.
Radio is sold out. So, hold on, let me get this link. All right. So, as you all might see here in the chat, I will read it out loud. I can't. It's a deleted link. Okay, I can't post this. All right, sweet. If you go to tinyurl.com/donatesdr, you can give your hard-earned bucks to us broke jokers over here. Really use some extra cash to help us get places, eat food, pay rent, have a cardboard box over our heads. So give anything you can, please. We would really appreciate it. That again is tinyurl.com/donatesdr, all lowercase. And the money, make sure you have the decimal place in the right position, and that's 2 spaces right. So please give us anything.
50 cents would be awesome.
50
Except
cents.
if you give us the rapper. That would be terrible.
Well, we need to elaborate a little bit more. Like, we need to, what do they get for donating?
peace of mind that we won't eat each other.
I'm just going to make it really easy for them so they can see it.
Dude, for fucking-
you get to
for
actually
50
get
cents
more
a day.
videos. You get
What
more
do you-
videos put together by Alex and Gibby of how to play KOF correctly.
Yeah,
Because
well,
they can finance the ones they're doing right now.
yeah. Right now, Alex and I are working on a video series.
Idle
But it's-
text.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's actually hard for us to do a lot of the things because one, we need to get together.
This is going to be the splash screen until you guys get some donations.
Yeah.
So, basically, Sanchez and I are working on a bunch of videos. The problem is we can't do all of them because one, we don't have the proper equipment. We were trying to stream everything at first, but Sanchez's internet is complete crap, and I don't have the streaming equipment here. So we need to do a lot of things where we get together, and we live about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. Depending on how we get there, or like if I go down there, it's going to cost me like what, about $50 going there and back. I don't know how much it costs Sanchez to get here and back.
Cost
but-
my peace of mind because
Yeah.
fuck Lancaster, dude.
yes. I gotta agree. Screw this place. Yeah, but once we're gonna like work on things here and there when we get the chance, like anytime we get together. But for the most part, yeah, we can't really do it, and like we're not really happy with a lot of the videos that are out there right now. The good chunk of them have a lot of misinformation, and it's very misleading because people will see videos, they'll go, "Oh, well, so and so said this, so it must be true," because he's always putting out videos, he's always
Yeah,
streaming,
man.
he's always doing
Remember when
this.
so and so told me that, or told the internet that counter hits don't add hit stun in KOF?
Yeah.
That was a juicy bit of information, man. I could put that in a box and just keep that forever.
Oh man, that was subtle.
So yeah, we just want to clear up a lot of the misinformation, try to get something out there that's clean, well presented, and one, you have Alex who's really good at explaining things. He's, for those who don't know, he's a third strike guy, but when he transitioned to KOF, he broke down the game really fast, and he found the dumbest shit possible, which is hilarious. I love it. And then there's me, who sucks at this game now, but I have a long history in the KOF background, and I know the majority of system mechanics from all the old KOFs, and even this one. There are only a few people I've talked to that I know have more knowledge of the game engines than I do. One is Duck. That guy, goddamn it, he knows a lot. I would like to get him in on one of these if possible.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome actually.
He's been here before.
Yeah.
No, I mean one of the tutorial things, if
Yeah.
possible. He's a busy guy.
Yes, Gibby knows all of the story of the case.
Oh man, I know all the story of the Ness and the Orochis. Yeah, they're great.
The All Rockies.
Yo, Gibby knows the experimental beta versions of those stories where
Yeah.
Kyo was actually a white guy. That's what the movie
And a
was based
robot.
off of.
Actually, I'm just gonna say a little bit here. For those who like Elizabeth, she was supposed to be the villain. There you go.
I believe
Wow.
that actually.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Or it would have been.
I explained it to a few people already. But I'm not going into it anymore.
That's right. So donate, and Gibby will call you up and let you know a secret about KOF's past.
Ah, yes.
Damn.
Personalized voicemail about the KOF storyline.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in my day, we didn't have 3 kills.
Just call this 1-900 number for your power up Gibby storytelling. You can listen
Gibby
in.
hotline.
Yeah.
What KOF character might show up in Chinese KOF next week? Find out on the hotline.
Do you need help?
99 cents the first minute, $2 each additional minute.
Coming
Yeah.
up on 6 at FGC.
Please give us
we, have,
money.
we also have the showing of good faith here. Another list that Gibby and I compiled about things that piss me off in this game that should get punished but never do. Iori's Rekkas! Because, yeah, you all suck.
Getting better because other people told you how to do better. Yeah.
Yep. Where the hell's that link?
Well, before you guys, some people are making strides to shed some light on some things that people just haven't been paying attention to. Like, I think Gunsmith just did his Watch Eye video, right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like after the game's been out for 2 years, making beginner guides isn't exactly the best thing considering they already exist. And
But nobody's playing the game.
but now it's time to elaborate more upon character, how to fight and matchup experience. Obviously, if you can't have the matchup experience against someone else, at least you can figure out how to beat some of their moves because they're probably going to use them.
Oh, very true.
So while combat might not be directly involved, you'll still at least have some sort of semblance of knowledge of what to do in a proper situation. And hey, that's exactly what this data compiles. So as you can see on stream, there's an example of how to punish the Rekka with Kyo. Things that always work and things that are range dependent. I'm assuming range dependent means having to be closer. I assume.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
So. Yeah.
There's some funny ones in there for some characters. The consistent ones are always going to work, which means if he does it, you're always going to be able to punish with this. Some of them are metered, but there's a bunch of instances where you see Ioris, Flame Ioris in this case, just do fucking Rekkas for the willy-nilly of it, and it's like, oh, he did the one. I'm going to let him go unscathed. No, you fuck him for it.
Yeah.
You make him pay. He has trespassed on your lawn. That is your property, and as an American, you get to fucking shoot him.
Yo, this right to bear arms? Yeah.
Yo, right to bear arms.
I'm gonna punish him with that Joe Rambu super.
That's not a clickable link, but hopefully you guys should be able to get the idea.
Yeah.
Considering links are turned off, probably thanks to NCR and all you fine viewers out there posting inappropriate things.
I don't know.
Thanks,
what
man.
you're talking about.
Loots. So
Like
there we have
seriously,
it.
how many times have you played a game and there's just been, an Iori record that goes unpunished? Think about it. Think
Oh.
about the damage you can get.
Yeah, there are a good chunk of characters that can go into full HD from no matter how far he is from you. You can go into full HD. So yeah, and Ralph is one of those characters. I had fun doing Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph gets like the easiest ones. It's like, were you holding back? Yeah, you win.
Yeah, pretty much, man. That shit
Yeah,
punishes
pretty much.
everything. I remember that move
Um,
punished like the super ambiguous, ambiguously safe Hungetsu's in KOF 13 arcade mode. Like nobody else ever punished it, but like if you were holding back with Ralph, it was pretty much brain dead.
Yep.
yeah, and this and something else is going to help. It'll help EORI players as well, so they know who not to do. Just full Rekka just for no reason, or like, oh, I'm going to do a block string with Rekka, because this is for the A version of the Rekka, which is -9. If Basically that one has the fastest recovery out of all the Rekkas that aren't EX. So this will punish every single Rekka. Like it'll punish all versions of A, all versions of C. So basically, if you're playing Iori, you don't want to, do the Rekkas to people just out of nowhere. You want to punish people, or you want to make sure you hit confirm into it. Seriously, a good person to watch that does that all the time is LeBron.
I would
If
like
you
to watch LeBron if he was watchable more often than every 3 months.
Well, go watch
I
all
thought
his
you were
old
going to say
videos.
I'd like to watch LeBron if he ever made it on stream.
He's one of the only players I've seen that would consistently do the Rekkas, but never just throw it out in a block string. He would always confirm into it somehow.
It's actually true.
So yeah.
I never thought about sweeping it with Kim.
Really?
I learned
You never
something.
thought about sweeping it with Kim?
Okay. Which is ironic considering I sweep everything with Kim, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But there you
And,
go. That's the first proof that we're actually working on things, and we'd like to also be able to eat while we do that.
Second proof. Second proof. We did the Benamaru knee punish thing too, which is fun.
Yeah.
We should be able to make videos of that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, here's the thing.
that's the
You
thing.
give us the equipment, and I'll do it. Because I have nothing to do with my current equipment caught fire.
He's just saying that because he's been on a 386 for the last 10 years.
Dude, my
I'm
screen
not
is
actually
only on
sure how
Shades
he's
of Green.
talking to us right now.
I'm at the public library right now. You know how hard it is to record match footage at the public library? It's awkward. Kids are just coming up like, "Oh, we playing? Is this the Street Fighter 4?" Yeah, it is. This is Ryu. He's just got an orange gi. Leave me alone.
Alternate color.
He's
Yeah, this is alternate color.
he changed his name to avoid child support.
There you go.
Damn, Sakura trying to hunt him down. Get
Yep.
that money.
I knew she had something.
But over the weekend, yeah, Toryukin happened. Gibby was paying attention to it.
Yeah, Toryukin went down. They had a KOF 13 tournament there. For those who don't know, Toryukin's been going on for like what I think 15 years now. Maybe longer. They had a KOF 13 tournament. Had about only 17 people. From what I'm told, no international players showed. Only 4 out of towners showed. Overall, it was decent. It was fun to watch. Top 4 ended up being Mr. Tri took first, Karn took second, Raynex took third, and Alvin took fourth. I was hoping Karn took first because he's actually one of my Markables buddies, but he didn't, so I'm sad. Pretty sure he's sad because last year I think he lost to Justin. I believe he lost to Justin or Air. I forgot who it was, and he got second place. So yeah, he wanted first this time around. Well, it's cool. He's getting better.
Anything else of note?
You got some
Run
wacky
back-
teams there.
What's that?
For Toryukin, the first and second place, there's some pretty wacky teams.
Oh
A
yeah,
lot more Clark than you expect.
which was fun. You see different characters getting used. It's cool. Instead of the same 4 or 5 being used over and over. House of Crack had a tournament. I didn't see any of it though.
Yeah, I've been meaning to catch one of those, but like I always miss like wherever whenever it's up on stream.
Well, the last time I watched it, there was someone on the mic just giving out like terrible, terrible information.
That doesn't
When I
help.
say terrible
Oh, was
information,
that the
I mean,
one you talking about where it was Zidane?
yeah, it was the name. That's who it was. He was saying some shit like, well, I'm a top KOF player because I took these places at these tournaments, so I should know what I'm talking about. And all he was doing was quoting some of the misinformation that's on the internet.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
of those juicy bits we talked about earlier.
Yeah. But the gameplay from the House of Crack was fun. Like you see the East Coast has a completely different style than what you see everywhere else, and I like it. What else? The run back this past Thursday went down. I think there was like 17 to 20 people who entered. Reynolds took it. He took it like pretty convincingly. It was almost quadruple OCV in winners and grand finals against what was it, Ricardo? I honestly don't remember who took third. I think it was the answer. It was the
Yeah,
answer.
that sounds right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say that sounds right.
Yeah, it was the answer. So it was Reynolds took first, Ricardo took second, the answer took third. The answer and Ricky was it was a good match. It was kind of close. Ricky took it in the end just because of his Takuma. Just he build meter fast as shit.
Did he hug him a couple
with
times?
Takuma. Yeah, he hugged him more than a
Yeah,
couple
there it
times.
is.
And he's Ricky has it. Ricky has been trying to get down Takuma's EX grab into short hop D, which it's everyone says it's like nearly impossible to do. It's hard to get down consistently, but once you get down the timing, it's not too hard. But Ricky's getting it down, and he's going to be a bigger threat once he gets it down consistently, because he can pretty much kill you from that.
Ah. Well, he could have killed you before, couldn't he?
No, yeah. It's just the thing is he would go like he would just grab you, stand C forward, B into HD combo. Now he gets the jump in, which will do like what an additional, I want to say 70%,
Maybe.
60-70% because you get that jump in, which does a good chunk of damage. But yeah, and then Reynolds used, Ricky stuck with his team. Reynolds used EXKyo, Chin, and Huajai. Ricky never took him down to his third character. I think only one match he actually beat one of his characters. Like I could be wrong though, because I do like Reynolds was on point. He punished every counter attempt or every counter hit he got. Reynolds got full punish on, no matter where he was on screen. He didn't do the typical KOF thing where he's just, I hit him with a jump CD counter hit. Let's do another jump CD.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
So
glad
that made
when I
me
see
happy.
people do that.
But yeah, that's pretty much what happened in the world of KOF.
All right. This is why we don't do recaps anymore.
What are you talking about?
I
So
thought we
much
were-
happened.
But you guys said we don't do recaps anymore. I can't figure it out anymore.
I timed myself. That was a 5 to 8 minute recap.
That was
not
pretty
a
good.
30-minute recap.
That was good.
Yep.
So yeah,
So-
let's see. So what's going on now? Anything going on?
We got-
Injustice tomorrow. DLC patch, new costumes. Going to be interesting to see how it changes the game. What changes, because although NetherRealm had said the information was going to be forthcoming pretty soon, as of I believe it was last Thursday, nothing about the patch has come out yet at all. So I guess it's going to be hopefully. I mean, they were pretty good about patch notes for Mortal Kombat, so I assume we'll get some tomorrow. But it'll be interesting to see how Lobo changes the game.
Lobo.
He's already banned from UFGT later this month. I don't know about ECT though. So it will be an interesting thing to see how the game evolves. Obviously, MK went through a lot of different permutations. So I expect this game to do the same.
It almost seems like what do you think should happen since that we know we're going to get frequent patches with this? Like, is it even? Are people just going to be mad every time there's a tournament and then
I
patch
just
right
feel,
afterwards?
yeah, that's going to happen. I think that honestly, what they need to not do is listen. And this is going to sound really stupid, but they need to not listen to the players. They need to just look at tournament results. Don't listen to players, because players, by and large, especially like higher level players, like the highest level players and the bottom level players, just complain incessantly
Mm.
about really dumb crap. So, I think what the guys at NetherRealm need to do is just look at tournament results and watch match videos
There we
and
go.
see
Yeah.
if it's not, because I mean, a character can be strong and be winning, and it can still be the player. But if you watch match videos and like, you know, if the guy who gets second place just gets demolished after doing really well against everybody else, then maybe it is the character. So I think you have a lot of different factors you should take into consideration before you patch anything.
Right. And then
But I just wrote up a really emotionally charged post on the Test Your Might forums about how Superman is not quite super enough.
Oh damn, he's not super enough?
Yeah, dude, I need to be able to see through my opponents with my X-ray vision.
Oh, you mean
Wow.
give him testicular cancer?
Yeah, like why doesn't he have Mortal Kombat X-ray attacks if he has X-ray vision? There, I said it.
Amazing. A novel idea, indeed.
Quite old bean.
well, I think in addition to like there's a lot of obvious stuff that I think some developers may miss when they don't look at match videos. When they just listen to players and like they'll go off of what so and so said, but they didn't actually
Yeah.
see how it went down in match play. And sometimes it's not always that subtle. Sometimes it's like, wow, that character has a really dumb safe attack string.
Oh yeah.
Why did we put that in there?
I mean, I think the only complaint I would have about Mortal Kombat and the way they patched that game is that they were a little too focused on listening to what players said, because there were some patches and nerfs that really didn't get a chance to play out. I know that when Kano got buffed for the first time, like everybody was flipping out about up ball and how super ridiculous it was, but he didn't. From what I recall, he didn't win a lot of big tournaments. I think he might have won one or two, and then it got patched down again. So, I think really they need to let the game play out. Like if you're gonna patch something, like improve something or nerf something, do it once and then wait at least 2 months.
Yeah. It should be like maybe they should hold their own event where it's like focus group / tournament.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the only thing. Other than that, I think it's great that NRS does listen to the community and is watching. I remember seeing those guys at a bunch of tournaments when MK9 came out. Like Hector and Paco they would come to just random like majors and stuff like that and just sit down and watch finals. Just to kind of take notes. And I wish that the Capcom community had something like that.
I wish every community had something like that. Just in general, that seems like it's such a good practice for if you plan on like supporting your game any further than just like an initial release. That's like, where else are you going to get data for the game other than like a high stakes tournament?
Yeah, that's true.
I guess you can invite top players to your compound and have them run like first to 10 sets or something.
Yeah, and that's another great example is Skullgirls community. Mike Z is definitely always watching the game played out and talking to people, and he keeps refining the game, which is also awesome. And with the game expanding as crazy as apparently it's going to be in the next weeks, months, I'm really happy for that community too. They deserve it.
Actually, yeah. The last time they streamed on 86 for Salty Cupcakes, Maximilian was there, and he was just talking to Mike about things such as balancing and how games are coming out. And he actually had some pretty interesting thoughts on just like games in general. Like how they were talking about how they felt that with Guilty Gear as it was playing out, with each revision, like rather than taking something away from a character, they more or less emphasize it. Like it might have been not have been the way that they had originally planned the character to play out, but because how people were using was that effective, they're like, well, okay, well then we'll just make it play. Like that's not what we thought of, and maybe it's going to take away from what we wanted, but we're gonna help the community out by letting them play how they want. I mean, sure, maybe things are too strong, such as like a sidewinder loop. How it's like a bit harder to get more clean hits, but then we'll give you force break sidewinder that automatically wall bounces and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of a really interesting idea. And Mike says that he definitely likes to think that way about how he balances, and he's talking about how at Evo, when I think Parasol was first brought out, nobody really understood the tiers mechanics that well. So that night he actually made a revision patch, and then the next day people understood a bit more how to actually use it. So I mean that's just kind of cool, just watching how people play out in their games, and saying if something's too strong, something's not strong enough, and actively just having a area for beta testing, which is actually really cool. And yeah.
Actually, I say fuck that. I stand by the Capcom school of thought of nerfing everything into the fucking ground. Second impact shot was the third best character in the game. Unusable.
Oh my god.
Ban him from the book of life.
You're done, son. You're out of here. Turn in your badge and your gun.
That was pretty cold-blooded.
Yeah,
What are you talking about? Sean only has the worst DP in any game ever now.
The slam dunk of lameness.
How is it the
Yo.
worst DP? Okay, watch every DP. They go up with one hand. This guy goes up with both fists in the air.
Yeah,
I
man.
don't even know what that is, man.
It's twice as shitty. There you go.
That's like some weird, like, xenophobic shit where it's like, oh, a foreigner cannot do a proper Shoryuken.
Actually, Phantom brings up a really interesting thing. Like, when you play a game and somebody like doesn't use a move, and then it gets nerfed, and it's like, well, okay, like, why did you nerf this? Like, is it just like a reactionary nerf to how the community feels? Like, oh, this character's too strong, so we nerfed this part of him. It's like nobody worried.
That actually happened with Jill in MVC3. Like everyone said that she was crap in the original MVC3, but Seth Killing kept saying she's probably one of the best characters in the game. It's just no one found all the dumb shit she had, and then they nerfed her a lot for Ultimate. And everyone's like, why'd they do that? There was no reason to do it. And Seth's like, oh, trust me. There was definitely a reason to do it.
Well, but Jill is another one of those cases like MVC2 Dalsim, where everybody talks about how the character is amazing on paper, but nobody can do anything with it. I mean, Jill has Bang install. Like, that super alone should be the most broken thing in the game.
Well,
But
it is. It's
nobody
just nobody
can do
has,
anything with it. It's
is
just
that everyone's a
bad.
gimp.
Yeah.
No, it's not even. You don't even have to be fast. She has like block string loops that chip you to death if you don't X Factor out of them.
Yeah, but just nobody does it.
Just nobody does it. It's like the thing is like you have the one guy that plays Jill, and he's probably an execution artist. He probably does really well at locals. Goes to any major tournament and just gets shit bopped by Scrubby Doo Hanzo Gonzo running his fucking turn the putter bullshit with Taskmaster, and we never get to see him. Like, it's those kind of people that don't get to showcase them. Like, Magnetro in MVC2 was a perfect example of somebody that was an execution artist. And he could do all this stuff with Dawson. He ran unblockable Dawson teams where he would do Yoga Strike and then immediately DHC into unblockable Iron Man Proton Cannon. He would do that. He would do all the unfly combos and shit with Dawson. But where did you ever see that guy place? 9th at EVO because he decided to give a fucking game to Fnatic. Even though Fnatic paused. You don't do that.
Nah.
This is what happens. You never see people like genuinely take the time and effort to explore like harder to use characters. They want the herp derp wins, unless you're trying to be, man of the people Justin Wong and you play Iron Fist for a couple months and everyone forgets that you used Storm and MVC2 for a decade.
Hey, and just remember, Justin said if he isn't winning more by Evo, he's breaking out the cheese. So
Yeah, we got to go to the cheese, right?
Well, he has to. He has like sponsors to worry about, and they're just like, "Come on, man, you gotta." It's nice, to be the hero, but at the same time, time is money.
Well, I could play X-23 or Felicia, or I could just play Wolverine.
and Felicia gets a bad rap in this game just because of James Chen playing her.
It's like you just kind of go over Felicia on the character select screen for a second. Your buddy just elbows you really hard in the gut. Like, dude, that's his waifu, man.
Don't touch.
You'll back off his steez, bruh.
Isn't actually? I think I've seen it in certain rulings, but aren't like Shuma and Jill banned from most majors, anyways?
Why would they be banned?
I don't know. I saw somewhere that
They don't want to embarrass anybody.
No, it's not that they're bad. It's just a lot of people don't use them because they don't want to
No,
pay for.
I know that, but I've seen. I don't remember what it was, but I looked at a tournament ruling and it's all like Jill and Shuma are banned. I'm
Must be
like,
like some
well,
kind of
For $10.
lame tournament.
Yeah, that means the TO doesn't want to spend $10 on each console.
Yeah.
No, dude, I think you're thinking about the time that Oni was banned.
aha,
Get off.
clever, very
off.
good. You brought it back around 3 years later.
Just go back to where you came from.
I'll take all the seats on my way out.
Take several.
I had a hat.
Suckers, I didn't even have a hat.
Oh shit.
You know, actually, speaking of idiocy, did you anyone else notice that there's a fucking dedicated forum for stream monsters now?
On what?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the fuck the name was, but it was I just saw it today and I just kind of went back to sleep. I couldn't take it.
You mean it's not
Uh,
NeoGaf?
No, let's not summon them, dude.
So everyone in the chat saying "Yo Kappa Kappa."
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Is it really
I
Yo
can't
Kappa
remember. I saw a
Kappa?
link somewhere. There you go. I think somebody gave us the link there.
Wow.
This is the thing, guys.
I'm not going there.
I'm doing it.
Where is it?
It's the yokappa.com.
Oh my god. We're not. Are we gonna give this like an inch of attention?
I'm just saying this exists.
It's a thing and it exists.
Well, don't worry. I mean, Hanzo Gonzo will break it down on the show that sucks tomorrow because they have nothing to talk about. And I'm pretty sure.
Wait, this is Jacksel? Never mind. Let's leave. Let's leave.
I want to say, dude, like,
I didn't notice that part. Let's get the fuck out of here, dude. We're in the bad part of town.
No, I am not comfortable with this.
Dude, I needed
Cool,
to know.
guys.
It
This
just
is
closed.
Prancing Fighter B.
Oh man. Fucking
Good
dancing
God.
fighter. Jesus, let's just
But-
leave. Let's
Yeah.
move on to the pastures.
What else did we have to talk about?
What is it?
Oh,
So,
upcoming tournaments.
Oh yes,
I mean,
upcoming
other-
tournaments.
we have
ECT.
ECT coming up this weekend.
Oh, it's this weekend? Nice.
It's a qualifier for another tournament. I forgot which one it is because Atlas is actually donating to the pot of ECT. $500 for KOF.
Oh, that's great.
Wait,
Do you
it's
know if
called-
any of the SoCal guys are going to make it out?
I don't know. I'm gonna assume that Romance is gonna make it because he's been his sponsor's been flying him out to almost every tournament.
That's
Nice.
true.
So it's safe to assume that he should be going. Here you go. Yeah, East Coast Throwdown. This is $1,000.
I think Romance should bring all of TC plus the Tijuana players with him
Okay.
because they get along so well.
Oh, okay. So I guess ECT is not until next weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's the week. Is that a week before UFGT or is that 2 weeks?
2 weeks before. Oh no, it's the weekend before UFGT. Yeah, it's next weekend. Oh, I thought it was. This
Yeah.
week.
Okay.
Dang.
So yeah, ECT, and then the following weekend, UFGT. Jeebus.
Yep.
And,
in Chicago. So
Okay,
that's
yes.
fun.
So Atlas is giving $1,000 to ECT, 500 for Persona, 500 for KOF.
Wow. Nicely done.
But I don't get it. How come they don't just give it all to King of Fighters? We're so underrepresented in the community.
Are you
the
holding
fuck,
your
dude?
nose while you're saying that? Because that's pretty impressive. Actually.
Yeah, that's some Bill Cosby right there.
Yeah, I kind of was. So
Oh, actually, that would be a thing we could talk more about too. Is people complaining that their game doesn't get on stream enough?
yes, we'll worry about that after these new tournaments.
Wait till after Evo before we complain about that. I just wanted to comment that there are so many tournaments coming up, and we haven't even gotten to Evo yet. And
Yeah,
like,
I'm surprised they're so close together. Honestly, this is hectic.
right? I don't
It
see
was the
these.
same last year. Last year,
Yeah,
was
I mean,
because
ever
everything
since-
was an Evo qualifier.
Well,
Yeah, ever
last year
since
there
we've-
was more tournaments. It felt like.
Yeah,
Right,
ever
there was
since
one.
we've gone to the everything is a major, and I feel like this was probably started in the last 3 years. Like the 2 or 3 months before July are just insane.
Yeah,
I mean,
the crunch.
because you get ECT, you get UFGT, you get CEO. There is,
There used to be
Something-
NCR.
and there's and NCR was probably originally going to be around this time too. And there's something else I think on the East Coast too. and I'm totally blanking. But
Abe brings up another tournament, Vindication, I think it's called.
Vindication. Never heard of it.
Or is it? It's a local thing, SoCal. They have like I think a $500 pop bonus for King of Fighters.
oh, it's the EGP tournament.
Yeah, they're really well known for Mortal Kombat stuff.
Yeah.
So it's actually it seems like a legit big thing right now. It's not a major. It's just a gigantic 1-day event. They have like I think it's I think like $5,000 total in pop bonuses for every game. So that's pretty cool.
Damn.
Oh yeah, and the last was it 2 years ago or was it last year, man? I can't even remember. We had our buddy John Nelson ran Revelations the same week as CEO. So that was
Oh yeah.
that was the thing that happened.
Remember when we told people not to go to that, and then they still went, and then they were like, "Why is this so shitty? Where's my money?"
I
You were
think they were
warned.
like, where's my money? Oh, they didn't get it.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Where did that go?
Fuck them.
It's like I don't have your money. It's at Champ's house, and at Wong's house, and at Rog's house. Just leave me alone. And then it disappeared into the ether.
Does anybody remember Devastation?
Yeah.
That was like.
I think that tournament was too busy devastating people's wallets.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh man, I'm glad that I got like top 8, when near the higher bracket. So when am I gonna get paid? 2 years later. So when am I going to get paid?
When am I going to get paid?
Yeah.
I think
To be
when Rip
fair,
is on
I
his
heard they all
deathbed.
finally got paid.
I haven't heard anything about that. So
IGL. FPL, I mean. Went on.
I'm going to
Yeah.
assume you're wrong, just because I never heard anything about that. So I'm going.
Yeah, dude. I'm
Keep
waiting
being
for some
mad.
confirmations, dude. I'm expecting Rip to be on his deathbed at like 98 years old, and he gets his social security check in the mail, but it's only for like $200, and he's like, "What the fuck, devastation."
Garnish my wages.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but I had heard that some people were getting paid finally.
Yeah, some people did.
Which means
I
we
know
might
some
have
people
another
get out,
Devastation in 5 years.
Also,
Okay.
the tournament this weekend is going to be streamed on Epic GP, so Twitch TV/Epic GPs. Keep an eye out for that. I don't know what time it starts, but it'll be up for sure.
Yeah,
What
and
day?
it's definitely
Saturday and Sunday?
Really, some pretty high level injustice.
Oh yeah, there is going to be an Injustice tournament. It's the 11th, which is Saturday.
Oh, okay.
All
What
right.
city is it in? I forgot. I really did. 2 events this week. Here you go. EGP Vindication. Well, good job, Facebook. Okay, so it's going to be in Ontario at the GameWorks.
I don't know where that is. Ontario, Canada?
Yes.
Yeah, Ontario, Canada. Yeah.
Oh man.
Ontario, California.
Yeah.
Is there an Ontario, California?
Yeah, there is.
actually is.
Just like there's a Paris, California.
In Pittsburgh, California.
I know Pittsburgh, California. Paris is new to me. I thought that was Texas.
Well, basically, for those who go out to the run back, it's just like another, I think, 30 minutes away, maybe 20, depending on how fast you're driving.
Yeah.
It's pretty far out.
Honestly, I'm considering showing up just to see the games works because those places always have some of the most interesting games on display
Well,
in weird cabinets.
I thought you were going to say people.
My favorite is the
that's
Soul
true.
Calibur 2 machines with the Tekken layout.
That's always a good one.
Every GameWorks I've been to has Virtua Tennis on a gigantic screen.
I remember the Vegas
I like
one had
the
Sonic
one-
Fighters.
I like the ones where you get like a Tekken Tag 1 machine in an old Street Fighter showcase. So it has the full 6-button layout, then just one of the buttons doesn't do anything. That's
Oh,
always
yeah.
cool.
Sounds like the old Neo Geo cabs that were in Street Fighter machines, and they'd have the stupidest layouts. Instead of having box layout or whatever people wanted to play on, it was ABC on the top, D on the bottom left, or D in the bottom middle, D on the bottom right. Or my favorite was it was AD C, B.
How about blowback?
What? How does?
So it was okay. Basically, from top to bottom, it was A, D, C, and then the bottom left was B, and the last two buttons did nothing. Or the last
Holy
two buttons were
hell.
mapped to start.
That's some
So
Korean
if you
shit.
accidentally hit them, you would actually get taunt. It was hilarious.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
Unique.
I think they started converting them all to box layout in like the late '90s, early 2000s when Capcom guys were like, "Yeah, let's make it all box. Let's do that."
That is the superior setup.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, shut up.
Okay, Roger Dodger.
Damn.
So,
Well,
yeah, like now, box has pretty much become standard throughout the world for KOF. A lot of the older guys that played line have been slowly going to box. I like me personally. I do. I have to do old school SNK layout. I can't do box. Like I can do it, but it just feels awkward. I always hit the Phantom D button.
Is
So,
that why you're gonna say you lost to me in Garo?
Huh? Oh yeah. No. I beat you like what 15 times in a row, and then I let you take one. No, yeah, you lost to me. You're gonna pull this freaking shit on me that you beat me once. Now you're the shit. All right. You want to set up this here money?
No, I don't want to set up any money matches.
Then shut the fuck you and fuck the Giants.
That's not what happened earlier. We won't talk about that. We're not a sports channel. I do want to talk about this community. People are a little maybe not people, but some people are a little upset that their games aren't as represented at tournaments as they feel they should be, even though this has been 8 years of the same thing happening over and over again. You
8 years might be a conservative estimate.
Yeah, I just say for around the time that people started paying attention to this shit.
I mean, to put it as succinctly as I can, all the viewers watches Capcom games for the most part. And if you're running a stream to try to get numbers, you're going to run the Capcom games.
Yeah, this is true.
That's it. Unless you are part of the smaller community and you are running that stream, then it's just not going to happen any other way.
Right.
It would be nice if every game could get fair time, but especially on crowded tournament finals days as it is. I mean, I don't know about you guys. Even when we were still running 2-day tournaments, finals day would run long a lot because you're trying to cram so many games into one day. So if it's easier to just do the big games because that's all the majority of people want to watch, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
people like a lot of the KOF guys bring up their only thing when it comes to stream viewership. They can only bring up Evo. Like, oh well, look, KOF had this many people watching. But how often is it that KOF actually has more than Street Fighter, Marvel, and all these other games?
I think in
Just
Evo
Evo.
situation, that was just like a perfect storm. Like it was the game that nobody would ever thought they would see at Evo, and it's played worldwide. It's pretty much recognized in a lot of places that people like. It's played in places that I didn't know people played fighting games in.
So what you're telling me is
Well-
it's played in places you didn't know existed.
No, I knew they existed. I just think they played fighting games competitively at least, and they're
I
good at
think
them.
more so it was the free T-shirt.
And also that. Well, what about the viewers didn't change?
No, viewers
think
were
that-
nice. I mean, viewers were great. The finals were actually pretty hype, but again, it's once.
Yeah, right. And I just think it was a perfect storm where it was just like I want to see this historic event happen, and they, and it was cool. But like you said, ever since then it's been kind of like that B or C tier game that gets on the stream. Like it's still respected by everybody, but not watched by anybody.
Yeah. And Gibby brought this up a few days ago when we were talking about it, that everybody in the KOF community loves to harp on the fact that, oh, this player or this personality said the KOF is the best game, so it is. And yet, who of those people are actually playing the game? An opinion doesn't really mean shit if it's not acted upon.
True.
I mean, basically people always talk about you're gonna have to walk the walk if you talk the talk. Well, people are just talking, and words don't mean anything if there's no action backing them up.
Mhm.
So that's like me saying Virtua Fighter's a pretty good game. But I still don't play it. I still won't watch people play it. So what does that mean? Well, it means nothing.
To be
It's,
fair,
it's just
also,
words in the ether.
Yes.
there are a lot of people out there that are like, oh man, King of Fighters is the best game. It needs more respect, it needs more stream time. But I don't play it. But I mean, it's a
Yeah.
great game. It's like, why don't you just show up? Like, if you want the game to be bigger and more respected, starting with more players would be nicer, Like,
Yeah.
who cares about the viewership at this point? It's a game that you enjoy, so why don't you just play it?
Well, I think the viewership does play an important role, and there was some post NCR talk about after the recap video came out, and some people were kind of like, "Hey, where's all the other stuff? You only showed the Capcom Finals Day," and it was kind of like, "Well, first of all, our photographer showed up on Sunday, so that's all he could film, and on the other hand, that was really all that anybody was really paying attention to. The rest, everything else is kind of a side tournament, and
Yeah,
so
the rooms were kind of not packed for KOF finals,
P4.
Tekken finals, P4 finals. So
Yeah.
yeah, people that are complaining about stuff like that, yeah, it would have made a pretty crummy video seeing a gigantic empty ballroom with like maybe
Exactly.
15 to 30 people in there.
right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that what's funny about that is that we had a lot of fun during those finals Saturday morning.
Oh yeah,
Oh
definitely.
yeah,
It was
especially Steve.
yeah. We got to yell. I mean, we got to get nutty, and it was not a million degrees in there with 100,000 people.
Oh yeah.
that was the best.
So, and I think those games do deserve respect. Then it's the thing about it is people equate stream time with respect now as if they're the same thing, and they're not.
Yeah.
If you want coverage for your game, get out there and do it.
Exactly.
People, I mean, or give the people who are streaming your tournament a reason to cover your game. Like, hey, go out there, work in your community, make sure there's hype, there's big matches that need to happen, that there's things that people already care about. This people want to talk about, oh, you should just give us something. That would be nice if if everybody was just, doing this for fun, or they had unlimited time. Yeah, everybody would probably get equal time, but it's not reality. Streams have to run on a certain amount of time. People who are running the tournament have to be out of the room by a certain time of the day. There's so much that goes into planning that sometimes you're just not going to fit everything.
And in terms of coverage for the game as it was as the Capcom games were covered at NCR. You really just need a guy with a camera going around videotaping your tournament. It's not
Yeah.
that difficult. I think more people should be doing that anyway, because when I first got into the scene, all the different communities, all the different all the different games, they all had their own media coverage hub or whatever, right? Some of them were forums. Like I remember watching some old Hong Kong video of a KOF tournament, and it wasn't professionally done or anything, but it was recorded. Is all the whole thing, and it was a bunch of real people displaying their personalities and what this game was all about for them, at least,
Yeah.
Well, and I remember when you'd go to Evo back in the day, there would be several people in each community who would just have tripods and video cameras set up just around pools, just recording videos. And it's the only reason there's any footage of basically those tournaments other than top 8. It's like top 8 is really great, but sometimes seeing what happens in pool play is just as important, because some of the best matches happen there.
Exactly.
No, I have to wonder though, because if people come in to say they come to Evo with their cameras, is there some kind of legal thing that's barring them from videotaping footage or something? Is it
I don't
only-
It
think
might
so.
be now. I'm sure that if it's not, honestly, if it's not Capcom to be streamed, I'm sure you can probably just ask and they'll
Right.
probably let you.
So I think
As
people
long-
need to- oh, go ahead.
I mean, because generally they say that people are going to be recording there, and obviously that's for the major tournament and all. But I feel like as long as you're not taking their stream footage necessarily, if it's just something else that's not being streamed, it's probably fair game, I'd assume. Or at least nobody's going to complain about it. Or heck,
Yeah.
maybe they'll just hit you up and be like, "Hey, we like what you do. Maybe you can become like official,
Yeah.
pools recorder." I mean, there's definitely a lot of things because some of the best matches do happen in pools. I mean, there are many times at a tournament I just hear, "Oh," coming from, and I look over. There's a huge crowd watching something amazing happened, and I missed it. That would be something
Yeah.
that would be great to just have recorded at a time.
That
And I
would,
mean, I know this. Everybody's heard this a million times, but I have to drive it home one final time. Is that if you really want to see all this stuff, you got to come out.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, people always talk about, yeah, I wish my game had more stream time, blah blah blah. But if you really want to support your game, scrape together some money and come to the tournament and
Yeah.
participate. It's the best way to see it.
Honestly, like with that, I also want to say that let's use two different communities as an example. Let's use Mortal Kombat and Smash. They generally don't get as much respect as anybody else. Obviously Smash gets laughed in the face of and whatever. Honestly, I'm not that much of a fan of it either. But those two communities are more or less autonomous. They don't need anybody else to help them because they're such a strong, solid, small group that they take care of themselves and they know what's going on. They're the ones who are really supporting their games. And if you're just taking a back seat and just being like, oh, SRK or whatever doesn't report on my game enough or it's not on stream enough, like boo hoo. It's like, well, so what? There are people out there who practically get no time, and yet there's community still alive and strong, and the game's being played.
yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
make the effort for yourself. You have to make the effort for your community. Maybe it doesn't get as much respect, but the community will become stronger and livelier because of what you've done.
Well, and you know what? At least in terms of Mortal Kombat, they got a lot of respect back from NetherRealm for working that hard too. NetherRealm stuck with those guys and helped the game out long after they actually had to because the community was there and was supporting events.
Mhm.
So I think maybe, I mean, it could have happened for Smash if Nintendo wasn't so opposed to the game being played competitively, but sometimes you reap what you sow.
Mhm. So pretty much, problems that happen with your game, so to speak, to people out there. The problem you should probably start with yourself. You know,
That's why we started this show.
pretty
Yep.
much. Honestly, you know what I would like to get? I'd like to get one of those like live gamer portable Avermedias or whatever, and just do the pass through and just record certain pool matches just because I can.
Well, the
That would
thing
be the
about
ideal
that,
at some point.
I think Aver Media actually it's still a component hookup though.
No, they have HDMI as well.
Really?
They have
I
both.
thought it was just
Yeah.
feed out HDMI.
No, they have both input and output. Though obviously
Oh,
you're gonna need it for PS3 or whatever. But I mean, that'd
yeah.
just be cool to have.
No, I'm thinking about getting that new Hoppage PVR2 since it's already
But
compatible with XSplit.
Oh
Well,
yeah, I mean, that's for you. I'm just saying it's a nice little thing because I saw community manager Nicholas for Evermedia walking around with that recording ST matches. I'm like, that's really cool. So at least
the live the what is it?
Yeah,
The live,
Live Gamer
Plus or
Portal.
whatever.
portable, yeah.
Portable. That's it.
It's about the size of a PSP. You just walk around
Oh.
with it.
That's cool. I have to look into something like that. I saw somebody talking about it on Twitter, and I was just like, I wonder if that thing is worth looking into. So,
Yeah, and
but a final thought on this. I mean, you see a lot of smaller cities and towns. People who don't get a lot of press or coverage or are even cared about. They have their own streams. They're running their 16-man brackets and like 10 people are watching, but they're still doing it. The Persona scene out here, which doesn't really get really awesome numbers at the run back, they still run their own stream every week.
Yeah.
And they can do that because they asked about it. They're like, "Hey, we know that we're not going to get a lot of time because it's not a big tournament, but can we run our own stuff?" And they got the blessing from Level Up to do it. It's really as easy as that. All you have to do is just want to do it yourself.
Right.
You have to actually take on the responsibility, and I know that's a pain because I'm a pretty lazy guy myself. But just if you really want it that bad, then you got to do something a little bit more than just complain about it.
Right. And some people do. And some people do more than complain about it. They actually run their own stream companies, but then they kind of get, you know, engulfed by the bigger production companies whenever the majors like being put on and maybe there's not room for another stream, so it's kind of just like, oh, well, I guess we just have to wait for them to make room for us. That can be really frustrating. I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have to
Uh,
give a shout out to Funky P in Atlanta for always holding the side stream for Poverty Games
Oh
at
hell
Final Round.
yeah!
He does a really great job with that stuff. So
Like one of the things with that is a lot of I've talked to a lot of TOs about this. The way a good chunk of the KOF guys approach the TOs about this, it turns the TO off to letting them do things. Like not at the run back, but at most other places. I know Valle already gave his blessing to the KOF guys to stream their own thing. But a lot of the other tournament organizers I spoke to around the country, they pretty much told me the KOF guys come on too strong and a bit too arrogant, saying like, "Oh well, my game did this at Evo. My game, everyone says is the best," and all that dumb shit. So they're like, "Oh wow, you're coming into this with a chip on your shoulder." Yet last time I held your game at my tournament, we had 8 people, and when I streamed it, we had what, like 89% less people watching than we did one of our other smaller games. So what benefit is, or like, what do I get in return? Because people need to remember this whole tournament organizer thing is a business. They're putting a lot of money into it. They expect to get some money back. Whether they get money back, I can't say, but they want to recoup some of their losses at least. Running your own side stream for an event at a major takes away from the money they would be getting, or that the streamer would be getting. So it's one of those like area. It's one of those gray areas where it's like you can help out your scene by doing stuff like this, but at the same time you can hurt it depending on how you approach it. And
you got to remember too, at some of these venues, running a side stream might actually be a little bit taxing. I mean, if you ever watch some of the streams Spooky's had to do where he's on like 4G wireless all weekend because the hotel is garbage infrastructure, Like,
That's actually pretty amazing this day and age, where internet is such a huge thing that venues still have terrible internet.
Well, nobody's really
Yeah.
expecting people like us to come up in there and just tax the shit out of their bandwidth, you know?
You don't need like incredible internet for streaming. I mean, it helps,
But why spend the money when most of your people staying there won't care, if they even get it at all?
because I mean, even for people that want to buy the internet, because for some reason at hotels, internet isn't free. I don't
That's
know. It's
because
just
we're
like
America, man. We can't do nothing
it's
about
like
that.
who cares about free HBO? I want free internet so I can go on Netflix.
Exactly why it costs money, man.
Yeah.
Remember the
Yeah,
old
I
days?
get-
No, sorry, go ahead.
Go for it.
I was gonna
No,
say,
go for
remember
it.
the old days when, you come to a hotel with your system, and you're like, "Yo, we're about to have hella fun in the pier," and where's the RSA input? Where are the inputs
Yeah.
at? Oh, what do you
my
mean?
God. There's
Oh, I
ones that
remember
are like,
going to final round and having to break the special cable box entertainment. Dude, no, there was a guy. If you ever went to final round when it was back at the Holiday Inn, there was actually a guy, and I cannot remember his name right now, who walked around with a universal remote control and pliers that he could actually just break the thing off or take it off and then get you to channel 3 or do input so that you could run your PS2s and run casuals all weekend.
nice.
Now that's
Like,
community.
I definitely actually ended up buying a universal remote to take to tournaments for a while just for that purpose.
That guy was doing it right. I mean, that's the knowledge, man.
Yeah, man.
mean to tell me you
that
didn't
guy,
use that?
everybody was looking for that guy.
you mean to tell me you didn't use that N64 control that was hooked up
Oh
to
my
all
God,
the
don't-
TVs?
Ugh. That thing still exists, man. That's
Yeah,
like,
I know. That's such a rip.
I'm gonna pay $10 to play Mario for an hour.
I like how they try to make you play Super Nintendo games on that fucking shit, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If for whatever reason you can't run your own stream, then bend a little bit. Look, we all have a lot of pride in our games. We all think our games are the best. But just be like, what can I do? What can we as a community do to get some time on this stream?
Hustle,
That's it.
man.
I mean, if you get rebuffed and they basically tell you to go jump in a lake, I'd be pissed too. Then just be like, look, these guys didn't even want to help us at all. They didn't even want to put the game on. Then that's something you make a stink about.
Right.
But when people are going to give you time, maybe it's not the time slot you wanted. Look, as somebody who played Guilty Gear, At Evo, we got the anime time slot. It's called the anime time slot because of us. First game, Sunday morning. Like, that sucks.
Yeah, man,
But
it's rough.
yeah, but just you got to try to work together at least. Try.
Or at least don't depend on people who obviously have other intentions. Like
Yeah.
don't expect the people of IPW to like pay attention to a game that they never stream. You know,
Yeah.
like it's there mostly because it's a Road to Evo event. And I'm not shitting on the game or anything. It's just something they're not focused on. Although Street Fighter Cross Tekken is
Or
probably
in that
like,
case, it could be it's like if it's a game that they don't stream because there's no community for it, where it's like maybe there's no community for a certain game in NorCal, then maybe they don't even know that they should be paying attention to it. That's a thing that can happen too.
yeah.
Well, another thing too is that there are some people that were really going out of the way. Like, remember how Southtown, they actually had a CVS2 scene revival, more or less.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
people
we
kept
worked-
wanting to play. I mean, that game is pretty underplayed, but I mean, there's definitely support out there. So you just gotta mingle or figure out what's going on. See, do it yourself if not. But otherwise, sometimes something nice might happen like that. So that was always cool.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
Southtown guys hustled hard for that to happen, man. Like,
Yeah, I bet.
had to put the word out there, do a couple favors for some people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely while you can always say, oh yeah, they earned it because they worked that hard. You shouldn't necessarily have to bend over backwards to get
Oh,
it done, but sometimes it helps.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a limit. Like, don't put yourself into like a position where your whole life can be ruined or rack up debt or anything like that. Be reasonable with your situation. But I mean, there are definitely sometimes, buying a dude a sandwich and promising certain things or getting some guys and have them write down their names on a paper to show who's going to support. So I mean, anything can happen.
That petition.
Yeah,
You just got to try.
And before we switch gears, I just want to say that I've like in this case, I would always love for people to just like produce their own content, and if that's something like making recordings of like shaky cam recordings of a match or something, fine. If it's something like you're just doing interviews with those players, that's even better. I think that's a great way to get some exposure is if people actually see who's playing this game. It's almost like those N1 mixtapes from a while ago, where like you just get a bunch of like underground basketball players like hot sauce and shit.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up. Hot sauce is the shit.
yeah. Well, and see, that's the thing is that also when you do stuff like that, you create personalities that stream monsters or even people who don't know your game can latch onto.
Exactly.
I mean, one of the reasons that KOF was so big at EVO last year was basically the story of Bala versus the world. Here's a guy who never lost, basically, for almost a year. And, it was like, is he the best player in the world? He very well might be. And people got hype when they saw that. And the only reason that anybody maybe knows anything about KOF is because of you and Abe basically doing commentary. So
Not denying
the fact that you guys started this podcast sort of was basically the voice of KOF for a while, and now people kind of know who you guys are. I mean, shit, nobody knows who me and Gibby are. I can guarantee that. Walkman might actually be a cassette player.
Yeah, nobody knows who I am.
On his picture.
Oh yeah, you gonna post it?
I think it would actually behoove communities like the Persona or Arc System Works or any game that's really looking for time to start talking, make some noise.
Yeah. They do a lot of talking at tournaments, but it never gets filmed. I hear so much shit coming from those guys, but like, you had to be there, quite literally.
Yeah.
Change that. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about it. If you guys,
Yeah, no, that's it. That's all I got to say about it too.
all right.
Anybody got anything else?
I'd like to talk real quick.
Go for it.
So, I'm not sure if any of you heard, but obviously I always like talk about Skullgirls and the news that's going on from there. Recently, Marvelous AQL, Marvelous Entertainment's new company or whatever, they're the ones who are publishing the PC version of Skullgirls. Well, they've actually decided to help out even more and add $1,000 towards Skullgirls Evo pot. So at Evo, for the side tournament, there is an additional $1,000 added to the pot. But as you remember with the donation to breast cancer research from earlier, Evo staff has already thrown in $1,000, so the pot has a $2,000 bonus right now. So that's really nice, and thanks to Marvelous AQL for really supporting the game and getting behind it. And at the same time, I still want to advocate because play Skullgirls. Get online. The online is great. Please play it. Get on PS3. Play it with me. You know, my PSN is Lord Walkman, no spaces. Just, I really want to play this game. I went to NCR, and the only person I played was the person I could play anytime, more or less. So, yeah, as a
And
part
I
of
think-
small communities everywhere, please.
And at this point, for $2,000, it's worth anybody's time to play that game coming up to Evo because it'll
Yeah.
basically pay for your trip.
I mean, even if you don't pay for a player's badge, this is a side tournament that you can enter. So you only need a spectator's badge. So
And while we're at it, vote Beowulf.
yeah, and vote Beowulf, please. Put that as your number 1 vote.
Oh, what about Hubert?
Hubert, put that as your number 2.
What has Mike released a kind of schedule so that people will know what characters are going to be available by Evo?
I think it might just be Squiggly.
Okay.
Yeah, because I believe that by June the PC beta will be out, and by July I think the official one will be. But with the beta also comes Squiggly. So, I mean, it'll probably be out maybe a little bit before. I'm not sure if she'll be legal for the tournament, but I'm pretty sure that that's the time frame right now. So they would only be Squiggly out by the time that rolls around. Because it takes.
After talking to Mike, I'm pretty sure she's going to be over 18 by the tournament.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's definitely going to be tournament legal. Okay.
At this point, look, I honestly want Andy the Anvil.
That guy is actually. I think the part I like about him the most is his story and how he's got to find the mythical blue book lampooning the Azure Grimoire from BlazBlue.
Oh, the Kelly Blue Book?
I'm just saying that that always made me smile when I heard about that. I'm like, no way, that's amazing. Like, why did I never think about that for BlazBlue stories? Like, blue book. Wait a minute. Is that what
Ragnar's
they're
just trying to
looking
sell a car. He's just
Yeah.
making sure he's not getting ripped on this, dude.
for? Is that what
Gotta
the
go
whatever
online.
beast was? Yo, man, this thing's a beast. That thing's a beater.
The Black Beast, dude. That was Ragnar's Ford Pinto.
Yeah.
Wow.
He had to go back in time in order to make sure that the value was actually worth something. He's like, no, man, my 6'4" is just really terrible. I gotta go back and make sure it's okay by the time I get back here.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I actually don't know what they're trying to accomplish with that story, but it's
And hey, maybe one of these days we'll actually get Accent Core Plus R to actually come to the States finally in non-Vita form.
Oh my god, I'm so mad about that.
Maybe. At this rate, I'm not holding my breath until Evo time.
Just the day before. Hey, it's out, guys. Let's do it.
Ramic says, will you guys choose Stanley the Shark? He's not my first pick, but on the fact that he plays like Captain Kidd from World Heroes, I'm okay with it.
I hope he throws a big blue shark instead of a boat. That would be, or maybe it could be
Well, he'll have
something
shark
related
knuckle.
to science.
I hear he'll have proton cannon probably.
That's pretty cool.
Right, he's a scientist. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, apparently he likes sports, so he might have some sports-related moves as well.
Oh, he's going to be Roberto?
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Oh man, he's gonna be maricon, like I always hear him
Wow.
say. That's just what it sounds like. I don't know if that's what they're going for. It could be ready go or it could be maricon. I don't know. That's up to Japan for decide. I honestly I couldn't tell. The voice recording was just that bad. That's not on me. That's all I'm saying.
Where's the counter at? We need to reset that.
Hey, that doesn't count. This is an English only channel.
Got 0 days, something international.
I apologize. And let's sign us off.
Walkman's going to rehab.
I guess that's it.
Don't forget to donate to us. Put up the link again.
Oh
Right
yes,
there,
I forgot to change.
url.com/donate SDR.
That's
And
right.
also spread the word for the Iori Rekka Punish guide. I already forgot the tiny URL for that. We tweeted it out.
I think Walkman tweeted it out earlier, so
Yeah.
spread that around. Let everybody know. I'm tired of seeing people just do Iori Rekkas willy-nilly in tournament.
Yeah, it's is that? Oh shit! The link deleted again. Fuck. Well, screw it. Is that our sign
It was
off?
tiny URL at maricon.
Stop it!
You're done. You're done. You're off podcast.
We're all done here. We're just. Please
Wrap
donate.
it up.
This is possibly the last
Yeah,
amount.
pack it up, kids.
Back it up,
Zula.
guys. Get the stamps. We're mailing this shit out.
All right, guys. So it's been fun. It's been real, but it ain't been real fun. So for SDR and all the guys, good night and good luck.